Welcome to Salty Locs Adventures Live. I'm Salty Locs, and this is your front row seat to extreme underwater adventure, spearfishing, and all things under the sea. Welcome, welcome, good night. Now, I have one ask for you tonight. Please share the live and send me your questions. This night is for you. You watch all the videos, and I'm sure there's tons of questions that you may have about the things that you see. And now is the time to ask. Outside of that, I'm super close to hitting a major milestone on the channel, and your support thus far has gotten us over 3,000 watch time hours. But we need a bit more to cross the finish line. We need 4,000 watch time hours to unlock monetization benefits and continue bringing you awesome content. So, here's what you can do to help. You are already doing it right now if you're here in the live session. So, join our live chat. Tune into the live sessions where you can engage in real time, which also helps to boost the watch time hours. If you're on the replay, your views are just as important. So be sure to work your way through the live and get up to speed with everything. Spread the word, share the channel to your friends, family, and social networks. Every view counts and brings us closer to our goal. Right? And a share basically sends an alarm to YouTube signaling that you enjoy the content and want to share it with others, which in turn gives us a broader reach. While I work on the new videos, catch up on the old ones, on the playlist and the live streams, whether it's playing in the background while you work or as part of your evening entertainment. All views help us to reach the goal. All right, your support means a lot, and with your help, we can basically meet that 4,000 hour mark that in no time. So let's unlock the next chapter together. And I want to thank you so far for just being here. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Where are we watching from? I posed some questions. Well, I posed that you could ask some questions ahead of time a few days ago on the channel, and I got two. So for one of them was from Travis Smith. Hello, Queen Aya. St. Thomas in the house. Rock City Massive with Dea. Where else is everybody watching from? We have any St. Johnians in the house? Any Crucians? Any stateside-ers? So Travis Smith, basically his question, he said, I love your videos. Did you move back to the Virgin Islands? And could you recommend a couple hotels that would be great for vacation? Answer to the first question, I did move back, but I'm not where you think I am. I know y'all know me as a Rock City girl. Right now I'm in cruise, exploring the cruise St. Croix waters. As far as hotel recommendations, it depends obviously on which island you plan to visit. For St. Thomas, I could say Windward Passage. What else we have on St. Thomas? There's plenty of hotels. We got Windward Passage. If you want to be near the airport, that's easy. You could go to Limburg Bay Hotel. If you plan on being on St. Croix, we got the Buccaneer Hotel. We got Sandcastle. We got the Fred, depending on what side of the island you want to be on. Yes, and St. Thomas, there you go. We got Frenchman's Reef. That's always a winner. Frenchman's Reef, newly rebuilt after the storms, back in business. How that buffet looking? Anybody been to the buffet since they reopened? That brunch was the place to be. All right, the next question we have here, I had one from Black Bear Bow Hunter Society. Says they're going to the USVI for the first time and looking for a reputable guide for spearfishing. Found one online, but they aren't returning my calls. We will be staying at St. Thomas during the first week of April. Are there any guides out there that you recommend? Thanks in advance. So I haven't personally used any, but I've heard of swashbuckling tours and real living charters in St. Thomas. So those are two that you can reach out to, but I don't personally have any experience with them. You're right, no free advertisement here, right? Travis, I'm glad you're here. Did you got all the answers to your questions? Good to go. So if you plan on going to St. Thomas, there's a couple options there for you. But yeah, swashbuckling tours and real living charters. If you're going to be in St. Croix, you have Blue Canyon charters. But yeah, that's basically it for now. And then, so the last, would you recommend a backplate and wing to a new diver? Stuart, that's a really good question. And my answer to that is yes, absolutely yes. I feel like if you recommend a jacket to a new diver and they're going to be diving consistently, they're just going to end up buying a backplate and wing later on. If I knew what I know now, I would have done a backplate and wing and skipped the first BCD that I got. The jacket style. I mean, if you go on a boat now and you see regular divers, everybody has a black backplate and wing. It's more comfortable. You have more areas to connect your things. The jacket isn't really necessary. If you have things that you want to carry, they have pockets for that. I have everything situated. They have really nice what do you call that? The little steel plates to attach everything to. The back plates have that more than the jackets do. This is actually something me and one of my brothers have discussed before, and we said the same because we got certified at the same time, and we said the same thing. We would have definitely skipped. Oh, sorry, guys, I'm getting some feedback. Yeah, but we would have skipped the BCD style and gone straight to the wing. You guys can hear me okay, right? I didn't lose you. Like that. All right. On the last dive, just this weekend, I went out with the core divers, which is the Caribbean Reef. Let me see. I don't want to butcher their name. So it's the Caribbean Oceanic Restoration and Education Foundation. Basically, it's a nonprofit organization that educates you on the marine life, and they're big into the lionfish invasion. I've been trying to get on one of the expeditions with them and was finally able to do so over the weekend, and it went great. We were able to catch 126 lionfish with 10 divers, 2 dives per diver, and eliminated 126 lionfish on the west side of St. Croix. So for me, that was a great day. It was awesome hanging out with them. They do train you if you want to be, if you're interested in going on lionfish hunting, they train you on how to capture lionfish and all the things you need to know prior to hunting before you go out on the boat with them. And it was a really good day. The weather was great. The sea was pretty calm. Which backplate and wing do we start with? There are a lot to choose from. Where are you, Stuart? Where are you located? Because my recommendation would be to go into a dive shop so that you can, feel it out for yourself. I personally have a Apex. Apex? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an Apex. And I did that configuration in the dive shop. Decided what backplate I needed, which I believe my backplate is only like 10 pounds and it works for me. I don't have to carry any extra weights. The weight that I need is in my backplate. That's really super convenient. And, it's a fully customizable situation. So you grab all the parts that you need as you go. You build it to your configuration. So I got a pocket that holds all my little stuff, like like my gloves. I'll put my gloves in there. It's just so they're in there before I start diving. I have an extra mesh bag in there. I hold an extra knife in there. What else do I have in there? When I'm in Florida, I hold my lobster gauge. I put the little maracas that I use to get my buddy's attention. All of that stuff fits in that pocket. So it holds a lot of stuff. Okay, so the training is done by Core. Their website is core.vi.org. So I would just reach out to them. So core.vi, no, I'm sorry, corevi.org. corevi.org. Hello, animal lover. I saw your recent lobster post on Instagram. Did you go lobster hunting recently? That's actually old video. That's when I was still in Florida. So that was I want to say that was probably probably in November. Those social media videos, I kind of go through all the stuff that I have and just grab, something that's entertaining to make the little reels and clips that I put up. But I'm gonna get to. I have a video that is in my queue to edit. That is a lot of lobster stuff, but it is old. But you're not gonna know that unless I tell you. The lobster population here in St. Croix has not shown itself. The dive that I went on this weekend, I saw one lobster and it was actually not really a lobster. It was the shell of the lobster. The lobster had molted out of its body. So it was just a shell kind of laying there on the ocean floor. Other than that lobster, I didn't see any. And we went on 2 dives between about 40 feet to about 85 feet deep. That's why you need to come to St. Thomas for the lobster. This is true. And in our spots, get the nice big ones. But so far, and I'm not saying lobster doesn't exist over here in St. Croix, but it's hard to come by. Like we don't see them on the beach dives like that. We spotted them one time before, which was sometime last year when we were doing the Lionfish tournament, but we were focusing on lionfish. So we left the lobster alone because that's not what we were there for. And and I didn't see them personally. My buddies saw them. And ever since we don't really spot them very often I've seen maybe small baby ones. So I'm wondering really if maybe over here is overfished of lobster, because St. Thomas, I mean, we almost every dive we catch at least one lobster, right, Joe? But it seems here is a little harder to come by. Is there a lobster season over there? Or the lobster? So there's no lobster season over here. No lobster season, so that's a good thing. The measurement is just a half inch more than Florida. Florida's requirements are a 3-inch carapace, and over here in the Virgin Islands is a 3.5-inch carapace. So that should let you know, to answer the second question, the lobsters are bigger. The lobsters definitely are bigger over here. More often than not. Just about one or two every now and again. Yeah. And then we go to our holes to if we want to get more than two. But most of the time we are spear fishing and focused on finding some nice big fish. Lobster is like a bonus. I personally don't eat lobster, so I catch it for the family. Yes, that's exactly what that means. There's no lobster season here, so there's no restriction or no time limit on when you can capture lobster all year round. So it's open all year round. So we don't have to worry about the cutoff, because the cutoff is about to be the end of next month. Yeah, the end of next month is a cutoff for Florida, March 31st. And if I ever see any lobster here, I won't have to worry about that cutoff. That's the same thing I'm thinking. I think they pretty much cleared it out. They pretty much cleared it out. I'm gonna have to go somewhere that divers don't go very often, because the places we've dove from, I'm not seeing lobster. And when I do, they're not of size. They're small juvenile lobster, but not in the numbers that I'm used to even count them. All right. All right. Let's see, what else do I have here? So yeah, the core program, they part of the Caribbean Lionfish Response Program, have been assisting with invasive lionfish management since 2009. So they have educational materials and training, and they provide that to the USVI, the BVI, and Puerto Rico. So, and their programming consists of public awareness education, educational materials, training of invasive lionfish responders, which is a training I was talking about earlier, maintaining lionfish sighting network, and implementing a lionfish response network. So on their website, you can record where you see lionfish and if you eliminated them, because they keep a tally, or they try to keep a good tally of what's in the waters. Good night, Unita. Thanks for joining. How you doing? When you coming to St. Croix to dive with me? I think that one is more attainable than what we were trying to do in Florida, right? Surely you can make it down here. We could go right off the beach. I'm ready for you. We could hit the wall. Yes, I'm in St. Croix now. So let me know when you're coming down. I was just talking to my sister. She was giving me a warning not to go down the wall, which I've gone down already. But she said not to go too deep. I was like, I pay attention to my dive gauge. Yeah, I'm all over the place. But home base right now is St. Croix. St. Croix is home base for the time being. What's up, Danelle? Good night. Lobster and salmon are my favorite. Yes, sir. Hold on, where was it? Lobster and salmon are my favorite seafood. Lobster and salmon, those are good choices. Good choices. I love me a good salmon. Lobster was good when I could eat it. I'm allergic now, unfortunately. What's up, Danelle? Good night, good night. It's been a long time since I dived by the wall. I was acquainted with, oh yeah, fire coral is no joke. You'll be itching for a while after that. I mean, it's pretty deep. St. Croix gets pretty deep, but that's what the dive gauge is for. Keep an eye on it and stay above your limits. I don't like diving that deep anyway. I mean, I'm a recreational diver technically, so my limit is 130 feet anyway. But I usually stay in the honestly on a regular basis. I'm diving between 40 to 70 feet on a regular basis. I'll do 100. It depends on what we're doing. If I dive in for a specific purpose, I'll go in the 100 feet range. Like if we're looking for lionfish and we haven't been finding them in the more shallow areas, we'll go a little deeper. But I generally stay, I like, my average is about maybe 50, 60. You get to dive longer in the 40 to 65 foot range. You go down to 100, you can't dive for as long. So my goal is to stay down longer, not necessarily to go deeper, unless it's for a purpose. Danelle, you keep telling me let's go diving. I ain't see you yet, I ain't see you yet. You keep frauding me. You know where to find me. That's exactly what she's doing. All she's doing is playing. All right. Question. When you devein lobster, is that string that comes out the poop or is that the intestine? That is the intestine. So that's basically the poop chute. So we take the lobster antenna, break it, not where it's too fat, but just break it enough that it can fit in that hole. And you turn the antenna and it grabs hold of the intestines and you can pull it out. So you can do that without busting the you can pull that out without busting the tail if you needed to keep it whole. But yeah, you definitely don't want that inside your lobster tail. I used to always eat lobster too growing up. Then I became allergic for like 7 years. Now I can eat all shellfish again. I don't know. Man, I'm just trying to figure this out too, Travis. I'm just trying to figure this out. Because I was eating lobster when I first started diving. And I don't know. I want to say maybe about 3 years in. One day I started getting sick. Started getting sick from it. Couldn't eat lobster anymore. I'm not completely butthurt about it, but lobster isn't the only thing that I'm allergic to, and they kind of all happen around the same time. But I can still eat conch, which is a good thing. I can't eat shrimp. Not too worried about that either. But I don't know. I'm hoping that I have a roundabout just like you do, and able to eat that stuff again because I might not have a lobster tail every night, but I like fried lobster and stuff like that. I want to be able to, indulge in my meals. Everybody else gets to partake. You're telling me I'm so brave, and then you're telling me you're coming. Which one is it? You see? Complete fraud she is. Complete fraud, man. Hear this one now. I know you lying. That one don't even want to have her head on the water. She gonna stick to the surface. She'll do all the swimming in the world, but she's sticking to the surface. The only one of my siblings that don't dive. Lancy, we on shore holding the towels for when they go. And drinks too, man. And drinks too. Keep the drinks cold. Yeah, tell me about it, man. Allergies suck big time. I have so many of them. Well, not let me not say too many of them. For me, it's a lot, but I sure there's people who have worse. You know, but I have some ones that I could do without, like ones that have ingredients in everything that everybody likes. Ridiculous. And that just happened. Let's see, maybe 10 years ago. 10 years ago, your body just changes. So they're gonna have the towels and the buckets to share out the fish. We work so hard. Nice, nice, nice. Want to do a catch and cook on the off the beach. So you'll do your part then. I putting you on the grill. Hello, Clan Uzi Maki. I hope I ain't butchering that too much. Uzi Mako. I was there last week. Where there? Were you talking about St. Croix? Yep. Oh, many small ones. Well, that's good, I guess. That's a good thing. Where were you diving at? What part of the island? 4 inch. Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty small. Those are really small. Those are really small. I saw one when we went diving this weekend. I saw one small one, and I tried my best to get it, but he evaded the spear tip. So we need a school tour in St. Croix or even fishing classes for island moms. Oh, I'm down for that. The fishing classes, we're gonna have to grab some other people in for that because I'm not I've done some fishing, but I don't know much about fishing with a pole. Now, if you're talking about spear fishing, I'm your girl. But we're gonna need reinforcements if you're talking about regular fishing. Well, I'm down for the school tour. That video of her holding the giant lobster in St. John still listen. Her on her fake diving, but she's been diving all day. The lie detector determined that was the start of Salty Locs, Mr. That's when we start going clear. Had them big dinosaur lobster on St. John. Cane Bay. You know, I haven't dove straight out of Cane Bay yet. I went up a little bit. I don't know what direction is that. North? Just off the beach, not directly on Cane Bay, but maybe a mile down. We've done North Shore. So, but not directly Cane Bay yet. And I've done over by Carambola. But both times, going off on North Shore and over at Carambola, I only saw one lionfish, and they were pretty small. A whole bunch of black Durgans, though. Those black triggerfish. I think that was one of the biggest lobster we ever caught. They make them different in St. John. An ocean to table experience. That would be dope. For some lionfish. Go back out on a dive with Core again. Over the weekend, we caught 126 lionfish. That's plenty to have a ocean to table experience. I try. I like being in the water. If I could just figure out a way to stay down there a little longer, we'd be all right. Yeah, them sharks. The sharks come out over by the wall, though. There hasn't been one dive that I went over by the wall and didn't run into some sharks. They haven't been aggressive though, so that's a good part. Joseph went down to 110 on the wall, 110 feet. Not too bad, and you could keep going. But like Anissa said, Sabino said, do not go down there because they cannot come after you. Okay? So stay up from the wall, Joseph. Why you don't give him the lecture that you gave to me, Alencia? I heard that the South Shore is best by. We haven't done the South Shore yet. I was just inquiring about that over the weekend. I was told that you have to go out pretty far, that most of it, what did he tell me? 3 miles? I think he said 3 miles out before you get to a depth that's diveable, or that where you could even see anything. That's the rough side of the island. I don't know anything about the South Shore. If you could tell me where to go, that would be great. Small tree lionfish around the key resort. Okay. Girl, 126. And we missed a lot. We missed quite a few. So that number could have been higher. It was 10 divers and we did a 2-tank dive. So we dove one time about 40, and both dives were about 45 minutes. So 10 divers down for 45 minutes. The depths were about 40 to 85 feet on both dives. So 2 45-minute dives, 126 laps, lionfish. That's one of their highest numbers in a long time. The last time they put, like maybe a month ago when he posted, they had caught 80. So yeah, we have a lot. Listen, the lionfish are out here, okay? They are breeding and eating and living good in these waters. They're living good. The problem with lionfish is that they are truly the ultimate predator. If you guys watch my videos, you'll know these facts, but they are the ultimate predator. They don't have any predators here in these waters because they're invasive, right? So the native fish don't know what to do with them. Sharks don't naturally attack them. Grouper don't naturally attack them. In their native waters, they do have groupers that eat them, right? Because there's a balance over there in the waters where they belong. Over here, nothing knows what to do with it. So they basically, is like the king of the jungle. They're the king of the jungle for real. The lionfish is the king of the sea in these waters. So there's nothing checking them. They eat insatiably, right? They don't have a limit. They are one of the few fish to actually get fatty liver disease. You know why you got fatty liver disease? Because you're greedy. They don't stop eating. So if they see something and it can fit into their mouth, they're going to eat it. So that's bad news for all our native fish. Anything that fits into their mouth, they eat. Their stomach expand ridiculously, expand to hold whatever they eat. They literally reach maturity, sexual maturity, in 1 year. Okay. Once they reach sexual maturity, the females are able to spawn eggs every 3 to 4 days. In the spawning, they are able to produce 50,000 eggs every time they spawn. So here are those numbers. Up to 50,000 eggs every 3 to 4 days. That's like 2 million eggs a year from one fish. So You can see how their population can get out of hand, which is why we are in the water taking them out. And they taste good. So it's a win-win. So you tell me how deep it is, but you never mention sharks. I shouldn't have to mention sharks if you're watching the videos. If you're watching the videos, you're gonna see the sharks. I mean, I think I only put up one from the wall so far, but when I put up the others, you're gonna see that there's always sharks. Listen, once you get, and you don't actually have to get to the edge. Once you can see the edge, here's what happens. We go out. It's really easy to get to the wall, right? It's not a very far swim out. I think it's about 200 yards of swimming. You get there, it drops off, right? So you swim in, the reef is under you, and then literally like this, it drops, and this is the wall. This is the wall. So you start swimming, watching the wall. Once you go over there, you're going to end up seeing big fish, and eventually a shark is going to come out of the shadows. You're going to go back on top of the reef, and the sharks are going to be behind you the whole time. But they're reef sharks. They keep their distance. They don't really come in, but they're there. You know they're there. It's usually about three to four of them. Sometimes, yeah, somewhere between 2 to 4 has been the experience so far. What he said, I could not see a bottom even from 110. And the water is really clear, but it's so deep that you cannot see the bottom. Yep. Murky where? It's not murky. The water is actually really clear most of the time. I mean, sometimes it's a little cloudy, but I don't think you understand what murky means until you die, until you go somewhere like Florida. Florida can get pretty murky sometimes. I did go to the ag fair. It was really nice. It was actually the first time I've gone to the ag fair after all these years of hearing about the ag fair, because I am actually originally from St. Thomas. So my visits to St. Croix were not very many. I'd been to St. Croix a couple of times as a child, but never to the ag fair. Why mommy never take us to the ag fair? But it was good. It was nice. All the foods, all the treats, all the plants, all the animals. It was a really good experience. But it was a little warm. It was a little hot. But I got a nice plate of conkin butter sauce. I got some treats. I got my cold and remedy honey from the B-Man. It was really good. What's the territory plan to deal with this issue? I don't think the territory has a plan to deal with the issue, but I was referring to an organization that's here, which is called CORE. It's CORE. Trying to find the thing that tells me what that stands for again. Okay, CORE is the Caribbean Oceanic Restoration and Education Foundation. They specialize in training and education, especially with the lionfish invasion. So that's who I actually went diving with over the weekend. I know Mike Funk is one of the members, and so they had their first lionfish tournament last year, and we participated in the tournament. If I remember correctly, Joseph, if you remember better than me, tell me. I think we got second place, smallest lionfish in the tournament. It was my first time diving in St. Croix. None of us knew anything about St. Croix waters. But after that tournament, I got in contact with Mike Funk. He's part of CORE, and I've been trying to dive with them since I've been here, and I was able to go out with them this weekend. And like I said, their organization trains divers who are interested in helping with the lionfish invasion. So they train them on all the things you need to know about lionfish prior to hunting them. They teach you how to hunt them, and then you go out with them. I think he said that they dive They try to dive about twice a month. So you have to think 10 divers on a boat doing 2 dives every time they go out. That's how they are working on keeping it down for now. I don't know how involved the territory is in that though. Funny because lionfish on St. Thomas, but we do have them. Yep. Not as many, it seems. We definitely haven't run into how I run into them here. Like I was twice in the dive this weekend. I was able to find 5 of them basically right next to each other. Something we would call like a honey hole, right under like a rock ledge. 5 of them next to each other. In St. Thomas, you see one here, eventually see another one. We haven't really, or I found maybe 3 together, but we haven't really experienced the amount that I'm seeing here in St. Croix. Where are their native waters? Their native waters are in the Indo-Pacific. They belong in the Indo-Pacific. It is believed that through the aquarium trade, sometime in the 1980s, they believe that either during a storm, they were able to make it into the waters, but the leading theory is that someone from the exotic pet trade, so you say, hey, I want some lionfish, you get it, and you decide you don't want it anymore, probably because it was eating all the other fish in the tank. And so they assume that someone basically let their fish out into the ocean, and the story goes from there. Just expand, 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 expand. Take over, take over, take over. But they belong in the Indo-Pacific. But they have now taken over the Atlantic Ocean. They've taken over the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. And most recently, they are running the numbers in the Mediterranean Sea. Yep, it is foreign to the ecosystem. They are an invasive species here. Kind of like the snakes. Yep. I at the ag fair, they had the snake people out at the ag fair. I think they're kind of doing the same thing. They look like they have a program where they teach you how to catch snakes. I ain't in that business though. Y'all think I'm brave, but I think I take a hard pass on the snakes. Hard pass on the snakes. I saw a mongoose the other day. Let them deal with it. But them snakes too big for the mongoose that we have. The mongoose are not of size to handle the snakes. Like chickens everywhere. Man. And they roam in. But I mean, I guess it's just as bad on St. Thomas. And they don't know the correct time schedule. Crowing all kind of times of the day. You could go to Florida and do a lobster catch and even before lobster season ends next month. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Too much going on here. And I'll eventually get to some lobster here, though. It's just a matter of finding them. One of the guys that I was talking to on the boat did mention that they had seen quite a bit of lobster in a certain section of the island. But when they went back the next day, they were pretty much gone. So somebody obviously had an eye on it as well. Yeah, he likes to see the deveining process. Look, it was crystal clear. Yep, that's the waters down here. That's a good part about it. Oh, man. Yep, my gut says the same thing. Ate a lot of Johnny cake. Can't go wrong with some Johnny cake. It's one of my favorite snacks or meals, whatever you want to call it. I was 110 feet and could see all the divers above 75 feet above me. Yeah, you could see straight to the surface over here, man. It's really nice. Really nice having crystal clear waters. Mommy said we was there one time. At the ag fair? You sure about that, Mommy? I don't remember going to the ag fair. but I'll take your word for it. Murky and oh, well, if you're talking about South Shore, yeah, I've seen how rough the waters are, but I haven't dove there yet. I want to do that. I want to do the South Shore. I don't want to count it out. But it's a matter of finding where is the best place to go. Yeah, finding where the best place to go. I've been asking around though. I'd like to get out there, but it might be better to do it from a boat as a part to diving from the shore. I heard that April to November are the best months to dive St. Croix because the water is more calm. Okay. Well, looking forward to that. Because I mean, it hasn't been bad. I mean, there's one or two times that we went out that the surf, because the shore is kind of rocky over here. So the surf was a little rough, but once you got past the surf, the water itself was pretty calm. But that did cause a little bit of churning on the bottom, made it not as crystal clear as it normally is. So I would definitely be looking forward to that timeline, April to November, to see what that's like. Yep, they taking them out, man. All right, have a good night. Second place for this month. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Is the lionfish population decreasing since more people are hunting them now? Um, I think we are I don't think we ever going to be able to keep up with how fast they are able to populate. And we're never going to be able to dive as deep as you can find them because lionfish can survive from 0 feet in depth down to 1,000. And, humans can't dive that deep. So that's actually part of the reason I was doing that submarine training last year, March, because they were trying to outfit a submarine with a stick that could basically spare lionfish. So you could be on the inside of the submarine and you could use the whatever they were going to create on the outside of the submarine to spare lionfish, which would allow us to go to deeper depths than humans can go. So we can help to keep the numbers down, but we'll never eliminate the population. So it's more of a maintenance situation, but it makes for a sustainably good fish. Yeah, it was the second place for smallest lionfish. She says closer. Okay. Maybe my childhood memory doesn't remember that. Julie, you're a wealth of knowledge and it feels good coming from one of our. Thank you, Danelle. Thank you. And you are too, and I look forward to working together with the stuff that we've discussed. It's coming. And we actually did so on the other side of this, we have the Salty Locs payment processing, right? And we did a seminar last week. We did a seminar last week in St. Thomas. And I actually got in contact which put me in contact with someone. Apparently, there's an agricultural section of the small business program that they have here. There's an agricultural section that takes care of farming and fishing. So I'll be reaching out to those people soon. And maybe we could get some things shaken over here. So it's just a matter of supply and demand. If you demand lionfish from your restaurants, then they're going to seek out getting lionfish, right? Which gives fishermen and fisherwomen opportunity to provide lionfish to restaurants. That's one way to keep the population down. But yeah, but if you plan on hunting lionfish, it's good to you have to know all about it, especially because they're venomous. They're not poisonous. That's a misconception. You're not going to be poisoned from eating them. They're venomous, which means that if you get stung by one, it could make for a very painful experience. So first thing you need to learn is where all the venom is. They have 18 spines that have venom in them. So obviously you want to avoid those. That's why we use the tools that we use to catch them. And knowing exactly where they are so that you can properly handle them once you're up above land. Knowing how to, because once you remove the spines, they're just like any other fish. You can fillet them like any other fish. You can cook them like any other fish. And they're really good. I can't stress that enough. If you get a chance to taste one, I would recommend you to do so. Try it out. You might be surprised. It could be your new favorite fish. It's not very fishy at all. It's really mild, light flavor, buttery, moist, and it takes to whatever you're putting on it. So if you want to do, it makes really good fish cakes. You can make lionfish burgers. You can blacken them. You can fry them. Everything is good fried. Can't go wrong with frying some fish, right? So what else have we done with them? I've brown stew them, curry, you name it, and you could do it to lionfish, and it will come out good, right? In Bermuda, they are selling them in restaurants. I did watch a shot that yes, they are doing pretty good in Bermuda and Curacao, and I'm pretty sure Aruba as well are places that I know that have, whether it's a food van or a small restaurant that's dedicated to lionfish. People make jewelry out of them. Take off all the spines and the fins and make jewelry, earrings, rings, cufflinks, all that good stuff. So they're finding ways to use all the parts. Who sounds like Bubba Gump? Yeah, but any more questions? What are the questions we have about these lionfish that are in our waters? Oh, so the other thing I did want to mention, Core had their first lionfish tournament last year, and they plan to have a second one this year. It is currently scheduled for May 17th through 19th. Last year, it was 1 day of fishing, and the second day was the award ceremony. At the award ceremony, the public was welcome, and lionfish that we caught during the tournament was donated to vendors that were going to be at the ceremony, and the vendor cooked it in different ways. So that's one way to try it out. So if you are in St. Croix on that weekend, May 17th through 19th, I encourage you to keep an eye out for the news. There will be another lionfish tournament and very likely another chance for the tasting. Shout out to Chef Yadi. She was the caterer at the event, and she made some delicious stuff. She made some risotto. She made something that involved Johnny cake. Can't go wrong there. I don't remember what the third thing was, but I know there were at least 3 different ways that she did the lionfish, and they were all good. Every last one of them. Danelle, you know where to find me. You, of all people, should not be still wondering what it tastes like. Seriously. Come on now. I just shared. Okay, thank you. I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at that. Danelle, seriously, dude, whenever you're ready, you know what? Not that whenever we're ready. I want to talk to you offline. That ain't nothing. But yeah, so scheduled 17th to 19th. So if you're here and if you are a diver, sign up. We signed up last year, had never dove in St. Croix. It was a great experience, and we won a prize. So win-win. And they also, I actually learned this over the weekend, just remembered. They also are hosting a yearly lionfish hunter. It's a friendly one. I don't know if you win any prizes at the end, but maybe just bragging rights. Any lionfish that you catch, you can tally it up and submit it on their website for core. I think that's another way of them encouraging people to record how many they catch. So it's like a year long tournament, you could say. Kind of like what they do that in Florida as well, but it's usually just for a couple months. They tasty as tacos. Oh yeah, they make really good tacos. That is a fact. And ceviche and tacos. See? Just thinking about it. Yeah, Chef Yadi did her thing on the at the lionfish tasting for sure. Came up with some good stuff. We might have to have her come up with some other ones this time. Add to her repertoire. They're real tasty when she throws them together with some little tostones and Chick-fil-A sauce. So those are lionfish burgers. What do you call them? I forgot I had a name for them, you know. What do you call tostones burgers? Well, I don't call them tostones burgers, but they have a name in the Latin community. But they definitely on point with the Chick-fil-A sauce. In between some tostones buns, some lettuce, some tomato, little sprinkle of cheese, avocado. Very healthy too, right? Hello, MB Well. How you doing? All right, folks, you guys have any other questions? Like I said, we are almost at the end of the milestone. I just need a little extra push to get over. I need 4,000 watch hours, and I'm just over 3,000. So help me out. Watch the old videos while I work on some new ones. Share them with your family, friends. Get the videos out playing. Send them to your friends. Tell them to subscribe. We got some good stuff coming. There'll be some catch and cooks at some point. See what we have here. Dive charter boats should carry the equipment to hand to divers that feel comfortable to do this. A missed opportunity here. I saw many on my dives in South Florida, but was not able to take them out. That's a really good idea. I know in South Florida, there's tons of people that dive for lionfish. So maybe the charters just haven't thought about, they probably gonna make you have to sign on a waiver too for that. So that could be a issue too. I don't know. But yeah, if once you get the training, because you don't want to go down there Rambo style. You want to know what you're doing before you go hunting. But yeah, sure. If you know what you're doing and you sign off on the dotted line, I figure that shouldn't be a problem. And it helps out, right? That's something to think about. I call them Yum Yum for the Tum Tum. That's a good name. That works. That could go on the menu. I would not miss any of your videos. I appreciate that, Turgut. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't want to butcher your name. But I see you in the comments, and I do appreciate it very much. I'm working on putting out some more, but they do take me some time. They take quite a bit of time to, you know, come up with the concept of what happened on the dive, get the music right, put the story together. I always want to give you a little bit of education, so I have to find, what it is that we're gonna teach about in that video, because I definitely want you to have learned something, um, or be able to say that you learned something after watching one of my videos. That is a goal for me. MB Well, thank you very much for the super chat. Super appreciate it. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Right now, I am actually working on an older video that I was supposed to put out a really long time ago. I just want to get it out of my queue because it's kind of been sitting there for a few months. It's going to be the dive cleanup at the pier. They're actually having one. Is it this weekend? They're having one here this weekend in St. Croix. They're doing a pier cleanup, I believe, at the Frederiksted Pier. They're doing a pier cleanup as well. I'm curious to see how much is taken up on that cleanup, because we do a lot of numbers when we do the pier cleanups in Florida. There's countless fishing line, one-use plastic items, lots of lead weights from the fishers, just all kinds of random stuff, plastic, rope, what else, just all kinds of stuff. So it's good to get people out in the water and cleaning up. Lionfish fritters, that's a good listen. When I did them lionfish fritters, I love me some saltfish fritters. Saltfish cake, that is right next to saltfish cake. They head to head. They head to head. That's all I'm gonna say. And now everybody hungry. I know it is a long time. Yes, it is very time consuming, but I like doing it. I just wish the process was a little faster for me. I'll get there though. Do you know Salty Rum Diaries channel? Didn't see anymore. Don't see. I've heard of her. I think I saw her on another channel, and that's how I found out about her. But I don't know her personally. What was I watching? Is Spearfish in Jamaica. Spearfish in Jamaica is how I heard about that channel. All good stuff. I actually found another female spearfisher, but that one's in Trinidad. That was really cool to see. I just found her maybe 2 weeks ago. Somebody had tagged me in one of her videos. I love to see it, man. I love to see it. She does swimming lessons. She sells the food that she catches. What else do I see that she do? I think she does free diving lessons as well. Really good stuff. So we out here. Might not be a whole lot of us, but we're out here. The Island Girls. Jamaica needs more dive charter organizers. Dive charter organizers. Yeah. It was a little tough finding them. But you know what was harder? Spearfishing. Jamaica has I guess it depends on where you go, obviously, right? But the fish supply over there is not. I think they need more regulation. Kind of like Florida has regulations. They need more regulation to keep regulation and enforcement to keep the keep down the overfishing, because they do not have the amount of fish that you would hope to see in the ocean. It's very hard to come by fish, and when you do see them, they're pretty small. My favorite video is the one where y'all was lost as. Oh, where Joseph? Did Joseph leave? He's recovered from that since and been making some efforts to make sure that that doesn't happen again. But we let him back in the water. And I mean, listen, that happened in February last year, and look what month we in, and he hasn't had another incident since. But yeah, that was a crazy video. Crazy that they were able to capture all that stuff on camera. Definitely something we could do without having happen again, though. I used to live there and was spearfishing a lot before. Not good, but I learned. You used to live where in Jamaica? When I was young. Okay. Smoked barbecue. I haven't done that yet. I have put it on the grill, but I haven't done like a smoked barbecue lionfish. I'm sure that would be good. Coral landscape has changed from the mid 80s to today. A shame. Portland coast. Okay, I wasn't able to do Portland, but Jessica Cargill is a spearfisher slash free diver in Jamaica, and she's in that area. So if you see her videos, I think quite a bit of them are in off of Portland. But yeah, the coral landscape has changed dramatically since the 80s, for sure. Just in the last 10 years. My favorite is the hammerhead attack. That is a classic video right there. The classic hammerhead attack where my nephew got his first experience with a real shark. And we got the full reaction back on the boat. Because, we can't talk on the water, but let me tell you, when he got back on that boat, he let us know how he feels. That is definitely the funniest video that I have in the collection. Yes, Jamaica. Okay. But yeah, they taste awesome. Did a few. Cool. Do you think the straw ban is effective? Yeah, I mean, anything that's gonna help to eliminate that single-use plastic is definitely gonna help. That for me, I think the straw ban is helpful for turtles and stuff that are going to pick at stuff like that in the water. I've seen videos of a straw stuck inside of a turtle's nostril. So I definitely think it helps. Reduce. She's a friend of Salty Rum Diary. Yeah, I think I've seen her with her as well. I do follow the Jamaican spearfishing channels. What I see is barely many. Also, red bellies. Yeah, they do a lot of barracuda over there. A lot of barracuda over there. They love the barracuda. Want to talk about spearfishing with scuba versus free dive? We can talk about that. That's not a problem. Oh yeah, they taste awesome. Did a few. How did you have it prepared? They're really tasty when she throws them together with some little toastone. That's probably a bot. Yeah, Joseph loves barracuda. But yeah, we could talk about the spearfishing versus free diving. I always run into conflict. There seems to be this little I don't know if to call it a competition with the free divers and scuba divers. A lot of free divers feel like it's unethical to spearfish while you scuba dive. Personally, I don't see what the problem is. We have regulations for a reason. It's to keep everybody above board. right? We're not in the ocean pillaging fish. To be honest with you, I feel personally that maybe if you were to put scuba divers and free divers head to head, the free divers might beat us. I mean, we have an advantage in the sense that we can stay down longer, but the disadvantage is that fish can hear us coming. So it's not like we can sneak up on them. Let's see if we could get rid of this guy. Boom. Even timeout. Yeah, so it's hard to sneak up on fish. We can't sneak up on fish. Scuba diving. We know the sizes that are allowed, what we can and cannot take, the seasons that we have. And if you are following those rules, I don't see the problem of having a tank on your back. I mean, if you guys have a differing opinion, you let me know. But that's personally how I feel. I did that only free diving, but back in the 80s, there was no more bigger fish than your hand out there where you can reach. That's a long time ago, and even then it was a problem. Wow. It's safer. It definitely is safer. I don't have to worry about getting snagged on coral and getting stuck and losing my breath. So if you want to say that you're the stronger competitor because of that, I'll give that to you. But I don't see an issue. If it's legal in your country, I don't see the problem. I guess it's only night spearfishing. That is not right. Fish is sleeping and you hunt them. That is not fair. I have a feeling about night fishing myself. I mean, we've done it before, but it's not something that I do. I still take my pole spear to catch lionfish because lionfish are out in the night too. But not really fishing per se. Some fish are sleeping, some are not. But I get your point there for sure. I am against the only night. He's only against night spearfishing. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the fish definitely have a disadvantage in the night because even with the bubbles, they don't move. You know, some of them are sleeping. So you can come up to a fish and be right next to them and they won't move. So we definitely do have an advantage there. So I can see that argument. A lot of spear fishermen in Jamaica back then, even the fish pots didn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, man, they definitely have a problem with the fish over there. With lobster. Definitely lobstering at night. Lobstering at night is really fun. Lobstering is really fun at night. I like lobstering. And that's when the lobsters are out and about. In the daytime, they're kind of hiding on the rocks and stuff. Sometimes at night they're walking around. Sometimes they're on the rocks too, but you know, you can find them walking around more often in the nighttime. Night fishing with a spear gun. It is super hard. You don't have enough light to see so that you can reload your gun. I just don't like the hassle. But you know, if I see a really big hogfish, it's really hard to watch that and be like, man, I could have had that. But you know, I could wait for the daytime to get them because it's a lot of work doing that in the night. What depths are you diving? Me personally, I was talking about that earlier. In general, more often than not, I am between 40 feet to about 80 feet. My limit is 130 feet. Not something that I do very often. But 40 to 80 is normally where my dives are. unless we're going like on a shipwreck or something like that. Um, Sometimes we go a little deeper if we looking for lionfish, but lionfish have been in the shallows, so it's not even necessary. Not worth it. Yeah, I agree. The nighttime spearfishing, it's a lot to have with you. Not the lionfish, you can hunt them 20. Yeah, for sure. 24/7, 365, 366 on a leap year. The hard part is getting your gun reloaded. Yeah, that's definitely the hardest part. Just don't take Dom with you at night because he will miss every single one. That was tough to watch, but you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. He'll get it. But yeah, I watched Dom miss this one lobster probably 4 times, and then had to, I grabbed it after his fourth miss. I was like, okay, it's time to get this lobster out of his misery. What's your thought on a seasonal skip on lobster catching? Ooh, to help the population, or is there no problem with the lobster population to worry? I personally haven't seen a lobster problem in South Florida. I think the time that they give us, because they cut it off March 31st, and then it doesn't come back till mini season, which is in July, right? And that's usually that's their spawning time. So that's why they're off limits during that time. And to be honest with you, that whole time we are seeing lobster all the time. And when it's time for mini season, there's lobster everywhere. When we go out after mini season, there's still lobster everywhere. So personally for me, I don't think that there's an issue, but I am not watching the whole state. I don't have those numbers. But in South Florida where we were diving, I don't see a shortage of lobster. I like going deep for bigger game. Love to hover at 50 and drop down and get something icy. Yeah, 50 is a good sweet spot. I like to be able to dive a little longer. So, about 45, especially if there's stuff to catch at 45, I'll stay at 45 all day. I love diving deep, period. 60 and 70 is my sweet spot. In Florida, I would say 60 to 70. In St. Croix, about 45 is all you really need so far. Can't say we did a whole lot of diving, but 45 has been pretty good. Do you use nitrox when you dive? Yes, I do use nitrox when I dive most times. On the island is a little different because they are more attuned to using air. But anytime I have a chance, I do nitrox. Diving on air gives me more fatigue. I get a lot more tired after diving on air. I just feel better after diving with nitrox. And that's really why I dive with nitrox. That's one of the biggest reasons. I don't, but it's because on St. Thomas, yeah, which is what I was saying. On island, it's a little harder to get nitrox, especially on St. Thomas. Do you sell your shirts? I would love one for my. Yes, I do sell my shirts. I have 2 stores. So when I created the store on Spreadshop, they had the Virgin Islands in the list, but they don't actually ship to the Virgin Islands. So I had to create another store on Spring. So both of those shops are on my website, which is saltylocksadventures.com. If you go to saltylocksadventures.com and then go to shop, I have links for both of those there. Thank you for trying to get some shirts. I love seeing them, especially on the kitties. We found one place in XTS that does nitrox, and we have a few nitrox samples. Usually it's air. Yeah. Night, deep ocean. Danelle, surprisingly, it's really relaxing nighttime diving. I want to tell you. I just have to say, I know it doesn't sound like it would be, but it really is. I didn't know what I would feel like the first time I went night diving. I was thinking about it. I was a little anxious, but once I actually got in the water, never was a problem. I really like, I even sometimes turn my flashlight because you literally cannot see anything without the flashlight in the night. Like you turn that flashlight off, it is pitch black darkness. You ever see the movie Pitch Black? Pitch black darkness. But I sometimes, while I'm diving in the night, I turn my flashlight off, and I'll do this because you get to see the bioluminescence in the, when you kind of stir it up. I love to see that. Sometimes I do it I'll do it sometimes in the middle of my dive, but especially on my safety stop, if I have one. Sometimes we don't really go deep enough to do a safety stop in the nighttime, but on my safety stop, I'll do this so I can see all the bioluminescence stuff. It's really peaceful. I know it sounds scary, but I mean, I guess it depends on who you are, but for me, it's not. I always do on 42%. 42%, that's a good number. Molly's and Christian said has nitrox. Yes, she does. Shout out to Molly for our nitrox supply. Okay, thanks. I'll check it out. Thank you, Travis. Nighttime diving is the coolest. Flashlight is a must. A flashlight and a backup flashlight, just in case the first one goes out or something happens to it. Always. Ocean's coming. Yes. Ocean's got, listen, and you get to see stuff that you would never see in the daytime. I very rarely see shrimp in the day. You're going to see shrimp at night, for sure. You're not going to not see shrimp. You get to see all the little plankton that are swimming around. That you wouldn't, a lot of them are attracted to your flashlight, so they come to the light. Squid, like the Caribbean reef squid, octopus. I love seeing them at night. All the sparkly colors. Those are things that you could see them in the day, but the colors on them in the night are, you can't beat that. What else? Lobsters walking around. You see lobster walking around in the day sometimes, but they definitely come alive at night. What else can I think of? It's kind of cool to see fish sleeping. Parrotfish, they'll be sleeping like right on top of a rock, but their eyes are open, so you can't tell that they're sleeping, but they're literally not moving. So that's how you know they're sleeping. It's really weird, but I think it's cool. It sounds frightening. It could be. I think it could be for someone, but for me, it's magical. Oh, even if you see like jellyfish, like the little comb jellyfish, you put a flashlight on that and you see all the stuff in between the jellyfish. Is really cool to see that at the nighttime too. You just get to observe a lot more because your focus is narrower. You're not taking in the big wide open ocean. You're super focused on what the flashlight is showing you, and you can just see a lot more. You observe a lot more things during the nighttime. So it's a different kind of diving. Lots of shrimp and octopus. Yep, lots of shrimp and octopus. Cuttlefish. Cuttlefish is another one, and you can get really close to them and see their colors. I have pretty good video of all the stuff flying on those kind of animals. Sharks don't sneak up at you in the night. Never seen one. Now I can't say I never seen one, but it's a rare sight. I've seen like a baby hammerhead Well, no, it was a bonnet. It was a bonnet shark. Um, I've seen a nurse shark. A nurse shark has bumped into me at night. But that's the only time anything like that has ever happened. You really, like he said, you don't really see sharks at night. Now, does that mean they're not there? No, it does not mean that they're not there, but you don't see them. And that's also part of the reason I don't really partake in the spearfishing at night, because who wants to have live bait on them in the night when you can't see the predator? I get all the shark feeds on Facebook. I'm hooked. Oh, I got some more shark stuff for you if that's what you like to see. I got some coming. You have to have a touch of crate carry to dive at night too. I mean, if that's what you want to call it, that's fine. I'm good with that. That's why I always use dark skirt mask. Oh, to keep the focus? Yeah. You let too much in with those clear masks. You're right. That's why I use the free diving mask. Is basically the same thing. You can't see outside on the skirts. It's just the lens in front of you. Let's see. I agree. Something ain't adding up. Really, really, people. Why you gotta be all of that? We're just adventurous. That's what it's called. It's not called crazy. It's called adventurous. You know the thing, Danelle, that you claim that you're gonna be, you never show up. Yep, that there. I mean, but maybe you want to say it's a touch of madness. But the ocean is magical at night. I even like snorkeling at night. That was the time I was able to witness a Caribbean reef squid eat a juvenile lane snapper. I got to witness that with my own eyes. That's not something you would have seen during the day. And see all the light up and the fish that light up around them. It's like being in the Little Mermaid, or what's the other movie, Avatar. It's like being an Avatar in real life. So if you want to call that mad, then so be it. A whole shark bump into her. She felt a tickle. I didn't feel a tickle. I saw that it was in front of me, and I don't think they can see at night. So, that's the direction he was swimming. And he ended up bumping into me. There was a turtle nearby too. And I think maybe he was just avoiding the turtle. It was a nurse shark anyway. It wasn't like a real shark. It's called love. There you go. I like that word better. Worst part is losing your partners like Joel, who forgets how a flashlight works. You lose him because he don't know how a flashlight works. He turned his flashlight off. And it's easier to keep up with your buddies in the night because, you know, unless they get super duper far, which is possible, at least you can follow the light. That was so long ago, guys. Why y'all fixated on the one thing I said though? I have video of that. It's a funny thing. I do have video of that. I've posted it before, but it probably blends in with all the other stuff I had going on. I think that was it was a short, but it was one of my like ocean predators. It showed when one of my buddies got bit by a puffer fish. Not any fault of the puffer fish, more the fault of the human, because who puts their finger inside of the mouth of something that eats rocks for a living? It's just not a smart decision. So, he did that. He bit his finger and he did bloop 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 bloop. Cause he was trying to get it to blow up, and he did bloop bloop bloop, you know. And then so in that reel, I have the little clip of the shark kind of bumping into me at night. It wasn't that serious. Nobody, and I mean me especially, don't want to see any shark encounters. I will make sure to clearly label them. They are for Danelle to see. We love all the Filbert gang, but clearly Julie is the dopest of the crew. Sorry, fellas, I may be biased. They just do some adventurous stuff, like putting their fingers inside of pufferfish. He basically almost lost a nail. He lucky he didn't lose a finger, but he almost lost a nail because the nail bed under the nail bed got dark and purple. You know, them colors when it swells up and stuff. Not a smart move. When you dive night, we always have signal lights on us, which they were. Yes, so we usually have those too. I'll probably put one on my tank, so I have one that's like on the back of me. I have one in my hand. I always have an extra in my pocket. Sometimes I have one on my head if it doesn't fall off, if I can manage to keep it on. But that's really good when you're lobster diving because you know you have your hands are occupied trying to get the lobster, so you can't really focus the light the way you want. So the flashlight on the head is very useful. Damn, triggerfish bit through my neoprene. Now, why did the triggerfish bite you? Well, they're kind of aggressive, so maybe you didn't do anything, but did you do anything? That's a question. Have you ever dived in the water? Yes, I have. I love that question. I have dove in the waters of Dominica, and that is one of the most colorful dives I've been. Now, I haven't been all over the world or anything, at least not yet, but Dominica has some of the most colorful reefs I have ever seen. They still have color to their reef. Like a lot of our reef is, dead and brown, turning colors for various reasons, but Dominica waters are really colorful still. The underwater ecosystem is really still in good shape. The nature island for a reason, right? I liked diving at Champagne Reef because you feel like you're in a champagne glass with all the bubbles. It's really cool. And I found little where the hot water comes from. I found little pockets of that. Where else did I dive? I dove in Labim, which is the abyss. That's what it stands for. That was the first time I did a wall dive. And that, I can't even remember how deep it was, but it was thousands of feet. So if you go over the edge and you dive the wall, you cannot see the bottom. Just like here in St. Croix. But I think Dominica waters are even deeper. I shot it and thought it was. Oh, I remember that. I shot it and thought it was dead. It was on my stringer. So see, he tried to shoot a trigger fish. He thought it was dead. He had it on his fish stringer and it bit him. Talk about karma. You ever been poked in your lionfish tattoo by a lionfish? Nothing compares. No, I don't have a lionfish tattoo, so I cannot say I've been poked in by a lionfish in my tattoo. Nor have I ever actually been poked. I have had a near experience. You know how you could hit something like you could, maybe you have a pin and it just pricked you, just barely. That's the only experience I've had with a lionfish. It almost got me, but it didn't. It didn't actually break my skin. It was more of a like a point. It just hit the very, very top. And it didn't break the skin. So I didn't have to worry about the pain that comes with that. Heard it's very painful, have witnessed it as well with my eyes. Fortunately, I haven't had that problem, and I try to be really, 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 really careful. And that's why I know all this stuff about lionfish because I learned everything there is to know prior to going to start hunting them. And it's all about having the proper tools too. Having the proper tools, having the patience while you're hunting, you know. Have you visited Cuba? I have not visited Cuba. I would love to visit Cuba because I heard their waters are pretty pristine as well. Would love to go there in the gardens. I've heard some really good things about Cuba. I would like so I didn't do a night dive in Dominica, but I did quite a few daytime dives. So that would be pretty dope too. Diving in Dominica in the night, that would be dope. Camden Island seems cool too for diving. I've heard of Camden Island. Where is that? I've heard the name before though, but I can't remember where that is. Suck out the toxin. Could do that, but by the time it gets in your finger, it's probably too late. Broke my skin. My finger went numb. I was lucky because it was dead for a bit. Broke my skin. Yeah. So that just means it didn't go deep enough because it's not until about 8 hours, unless it had passed that mark. When you say it was dead for a bit, was it dead for 8 hours? Because that's when the venom is no longer effective. Cayman. Oh, okay. In Cayman. Gotcha. This Patrice, we need a video, a live dive in. Oh yeah. I would like to do that. Dominica. So there's a guy who's he's in charge of lionfishhunters.com. He was recently in Dominica and did some serious numbers. He posted about, I think, was it 2 dives that he did that day? I think he did like 2 dives, and it wasn't much of them on the boat. I want to say maybe it was 2 or 3 of them diving, and they had 100 and something lionfish, like close to on like maybe 125 lionfish. So the problem is thriving over there as well. They had lionfish when I dove over there, but at that time I'm not sure if I was hunting lionfish already. I may have just started, but I didn't take any weapons with me when I went to Dominica, so I was just observing. But they were there. They were there even back then. No, maybe I have good reflexes. As soon as I felt it, I pulled back my finger. Well, that's what I mean. It didn't go all the way in. It didn't go all the way in. Swift fan movements. You have trained well, my son. Yeah, you just call yourself lucky for not getting that all the way through. I don't think you want any piece of that. You can ask JP what that felt like. Had that man in a fetal position, swollen hand. I don't want to experience it at all. If you need PR, I'm your. Oh, you know for sure. I come into you just now. We're gonna get some things going. Yeah, man. Just know. It's coming down the line, man. But yeah, so I mean, like I was telling y'all before, my videos, I trying to bring you guys on the experience with me and teach you a little bit while you're there. So but if there's anything that you are interested in particular, you let me know and we can add it to the queue if possible. If there's a particular fish maybe that you want to catch, do a catch and cook, have us, let you know what it tastes like or the best ways to cook it. All of those are things that are in the wheelhouse of the Salty Locs umbrella. You made my night. This is fun. I learned so much. I appreciate you for coming, Danelle. There's more to come. I'm gonna try to do these once a month, perhaps, hoping to do that. You guys just stick with me. More videos coming because I have a lot of them because we go diving a lot. and I have a lot of video, but getting them out, spitting them out takes a little longer, especially if it's going to be entertaining. I mean, I could just throw some stuff together and give it to you, but that's not what I want to do. I want it to be worthwhile. Not just seeing the pretty things, but I want you to actually have a experience with the videos. Are ready to dive deep? Who coming? Are you coming is a question. Are you coming? Are you gonna be? I mean, we could always use land support. There's always a need for land support. Whether that be on the boat, on the shore, any of those things. MB Well, thank you again for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Well, like I said, we have quite a few things in the queue. Just a matter of getting around to them. Let's just say, yeah, because Danielle here will be coming. Awesome. I look forward to it. Except when land support gets like well, you would understand that, right? Land support has to be able to help the underwater adventurers. So if you can't help, you might as well, I don't know, stay and watch from the couch. Joseph, this is your well, I guess earlier in the month it was your anniversary of getting lost in the ocean. How does it feel to be a year clean? Imagine we have another. I know, right? That we didn't know about. That's that DNA, man. We already got the 3 siblings diving. If we could get this last one, then that would be it. But she refuses to go deep. You don't have to go down to like 80 feet. You could just see what the 30-foot feel like. But at least you allowed the children, well, the one child, to go diving as well. Just tell Danielle there is a whole episode when my brother was lost at sea for almost 8 hours. Yes. That is a episode up in the top 5 for sure. Almost lost my life for sure. Ugh. Still love the ocean, and he's still out there doing the thing. Didn't let almost getting lost in the ocean stop him. That's perseverance. Dedication. So you 5'5". How about 35 feet? That means only 30 feet above your head. 30 feet of water. That's not bad. That's something you could swim up to. No one should drown at 30 feet. If you have to ditch it and power up to the surface, then you just do that. You're not gonna blow your lungs or anything. So that's a good amount of depth. See? She ain't having it. It's all good. It's okay. But adventure is stepping out of your comfort zone. You can't have adventure without stepping out of your comfort zone. That's what it's all about. But guys, we are, let me see how long we have here. Hour and 45 minutes in. So I'm going to wrap it up. If there aren't any more questions, I'm going to wrap it up for the night. It was a pleasure interacting with y'all on this live. That last one, the one named Aya, she just refuses to go in. She refuses to give in. All her other siblings are diving, and she just refuses. Whatever. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for stopping in. I'll see you next month. If there are no other questions, let's see, what is this? Is lionfish hunting a team sport or better by yourself? I mean, it's a good team sport. For instance, I have a pretty good lionfish spotter. JP is a pretty good lionfish spotter. So he does all the spotting. I do all the hunting. 4 eyes are better than 2. Stay safe, dive safe. Thank you. Appreciate you. I is the captain of the boat. Okay, that could work. Boy, I was so frightened for you. So glad you made it. Yes, he made it out, and he is still diving. She said, I'll hike. When? How long ago you did that? Well, no, I ain't gonna say you won't, but it's been a minute. Which mountain we conquering next? Since you're gonna hike, set it up. I said you would not blow your lungs at 35 feet. Wouldn't? Did you not hear the not? I said not. You don't have to worry. Like 35 feet that's chill. That's a chill depth. You ain't gotta worry about nothing at that depth. And you can save yourself if need be. Right? You don't even have to do a safety stop at 35 feet. Well, you could. You could do a safety stop at 35 feet. Let me not say that. But it wouldn't be entirely necessary. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Appreciate you. Check out the video from this week where I discovered a suitcase in St. Croix water and had to, try to get some valuables out of it. I wish it was a suitcase of gold, but maybe next time. Next time we're gonna find. I still looking for treasure. I found a $5 bill before. I found quarters. I found $1. It's only a matter of time before I find some gold bars. Okay. We're gonna leave the bricks alone. We're gonna leave the bricks alone. Bricks comes with something else. I ain't want no bricks. I want bricks of gold. I want some treasure. Real treasure. I appreciate y'all though. I'll see you guys next month. I'll try my best to give you a heads up, at least maybe a week in advance. And thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll try to give no kohina. I'll try to give y'all a little bit more advance the next time. It's just that sometimes, the schedule is a little crazy and I don't really be knowing whether I'm going to be able to do it or not. But then you pull through. But I'll try to give you some advance. You guys have your questions ready. I'm going to put out some more videos. Be sure to watch them. Remember, I told you we're at just over 3,000 hours. I need to make it over that 4,000 hours requirement. Help me out. Share the videos. Watch them all the way through. Hit like. Leave your comments because all of those things help. Showing engagement on the videos helps. It makes YouTube push them more to the outside world. The more you engage on them. So help a sister out. And we're going to just keep doing it. Keep doing these dives. Keep getting these lionfish. Keep spear fishing. Bringing in the big fish. And educating you on what's in the waters. And Anything else you want to know? I'm going to be doing gear reviews, catch and cooks. What else are we doing? How to's, stuff for the divers. I'll even do one of how to snorkel. Sounds pretty simple, but you never know. There might be some people who it could be useful for. Um, spots to dive on St. Croix, spots to dive in the Virgin Islands in general. I am still trying to get feedback on what everybody thinks are the best beaches in St. Croix, and would like to hit those one by one. And you should come along for the adventure. I appreciate you. Stay salty. We out.